What is up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Platinum Built YouTube channel. Literally thanks to you guys, I have made my decision on a turbo for the 6.7 POWERSTROKE in 2017. A few videos back, I put up a turbo video of me basically between two options, and that was a OEM stock Ford turbo built, so that would be the VGT modified, or a non-VGT, which would have been like an S 467.7 on the truck here. So I have made my decision, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys have played a huge part in that and making me realize, you know, okay, there's some good points with this one, there's some good points with that one. So you guys literally helped me make that decision, which leads me to Tuesday. Tuesdays, I'm thinking, should now be Turbo Tuesday. So every Tuesday, you know, me and the guys at SPE will bring you some killer information on turbos. What do you guys think of that? If you guys like that, or you know, think that's a good idea, definitely drop a comment below. I think that's a pretty good idea. You know, every Tuesday we'll talk about a different turbo. It could be anything. It could be for a Mustang, it could be for a diesel, it could be for you know, whatever, you know, just any particular turbo. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. Turbo Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think on that. So today's a perfect day. We're going to talk about the turbo that I have chosen for this truck here, my 2017 Ford F-250 6.7 POWERSTROKE. Let's go. Alright guys, we're just going to cut right to it. Turbo for the 6.7 POWERSTROKE, I have chosen this sucker. What size compressor is this? No, I'm kidding. This isn't it. Okay, but seriously, I have chosen to go with the stock Ford VGT turbo built by Dan at SPE. So it'll be a modified stock VGT variable geometry turbo for a multiple list of reasoning. We're going to get into that, but this is it here. As you can see, there is a huge difference from a stock charger, which would be this here, to a modified one, which is this here. I mean, you can see that the machining that goes into each of the covers. Compressor wheel size is a 62 on the modified. There is like kind of almost a port and polish steel on the cover itself. The silencer ring is machined out, and that is a specifically designed SPE compressor wheel inside of there. That would be what, a 6+6 blade?
6+6, yeah.
So I decided to go with this one here because of a couple reasons, mainly for drivability, because right now I'm going to still work the truck. The truck works commercially. I haul trailers and loads in the back. So I wanted to retain the stock drivability and increase it for that matter. I don't want to have just the stock charger. I do want to modify it. So one main reason being drivability. You're going to see the immediate throttle response out of the VGT. Those vanes are going to be closed up, creating instant boost, pretty much off throttle response off the bottom. So throttle response will be excellent. You're going to see improved fuel mileage. And I will keep the exhaust brake. I deliver stuff in the gas field, and that is in like the tri-state area from where I am. So it's Pittsburgh, West Virginia, or Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. In this like southwestern Pennsylvania kind of situation, there's a lot of mountains, there's a lot of hills, and it like really sucks when you're pulling a heavy trailer with no exhaust brake. But so I wanted to keep the exhaust brake and the drivability for going up those hills, rather than doing like, say, like an S 467, which would have a lot of turbo lag off of the bottom. So towing uphill, pulling a trailer, wouldn't really necessarily be 100% ideal for me at this point in time. So that is my decision, and you guys helped me realize that. Honestly, you guys have been commenting in saying do the VGT for the drivability purpose, the exhaust brake purpose, and
the ease of it in general.
Yeah, and the ease of it in general. I mean, it just fits right in there. I don't have to change the up pipes. I don't have to change the pedestal. Literally, it just goes right in its factory position, and it's built. So you're gonna see 50 more wheel horsepower at the minimum off of Dan's built OE turbo. So let's talk a little about the charger itself, a little more in depth, put it that way. So Dan here, he optimized this wheel for that charger. So this wheel here will be optimized to run off of the stock turbine, which is right there, as you can see. So this is the turbine, or this is the compressor wheel here that will be in his modified OE charger. This is the stock wheel here, as you can see the difference. There is at least a 300 thousandths height difference on the wheel, and it jumps up to a 62 from a 60. And this, you can see here, is a 11 to 14, which runs great on a stock application truck, but as soon as you try to add more power or more fuel, they just completely overspin and you lose. All right, so Dan, why would this one be optimized to run the best potentially for that size turbine?
So there's a lot of stuff out there on the market as far as like other chargers that you can get that are very similar. The first thing we ran into is we kind of did what a lot of other people did before we put this charger out, is we went as large as we could on the compressor side, and basically what happens is it's called compressor surge, where the surge line of the turbo changes too much, meaning you essentially have too much mass on the compressor wheel for the turbine to drive it, and you'll get surging, like a chug in the truck under moderate boost level, bunch of weird drivability stuff like that. When we first started modifying these turbos, this was probably 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. That was something we ran into. Everybody else kind of just threw the stuff out there, and we didn't want to. We wanted to make sure that we had the best product that we could for our customer. So we ended up falling on a 62. It's like 61.9 something. We ended up falling on that size as far as the inlet of the compressor, because that was the most efficient, and we didn't have any surge line issues, no weird compressor surge issues. The one thing that we did notice, that I don't know if it sets us off from anyone else or not, but the height of the compressor wheel. Through a lot of testing and different designs, we actually found that if we created more surface area height-wise, it did not affect the surge line of the turbo as much. So we were able to gain over 300 thousandths height over the factory fin height on the compressor wheel. So that was one of the main things that we did that helped the turbo a lot as far as output. A lot of people ask, well, why don't you do a bigger turbine so that you can essentially go larger on the compressor wheel, because that's what the first thing people would think. We didn't, strictly because of cost. You get into basically inflating the cost of the turbo so much that it's not affordable for the customer.
So when you get into modifying, your turbine, the housing itself, the compressor wheel, the housing itself, and then with the whole design work and that whole process, you're kind of throwing out the window the even purpose of building your stock turbo. At that point, you can just go to a bigger frame.
And exactly. And what happens is you start kind of defeating the purpose, is essentially what it is, because you want to say make 750, 800 horsepower at that point. Well, if you're increasing, it's just, it's physics. If you're increasing the weight of this and you're increasing the weight of the turbine, it takes more energy to turn it. It's just plain and simple. So you are then increasing turbo lag. If you're increasing turbo lag, as you keep doing that more and more, you're moving more towards the non-VGT turbo anyway.
And will that affect like the vanes of the VGT purpose in the turbo? Will that affect the low throttle response on the bottom end?
Exactly. So there's only so much tuning that you can do to make up for that. And that's the other issue you run into going to a larger, if you want to try to cram a GT40 turbine in there. The problem with that is the vanes are not designed specifically in this turbo to work with that turbine.
The vanes are designed to work with that turbine,
with
the
that
smaller
turbine.
one,
exactly,
in the Charger.
Exactly. Hence why it took so long, even just to come up with a compressor wheel design that actually worked as well as this one, because the factory wheel actually does produce pretty well.
So it was a lot of research and development to get a wheel that will work better than the factory wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, 2 years worth. So.
All right, guys. So there you have like legitimate like technical specs on why I chose to go with the SPE built stock VGT turbo on the 6.7 POWERSTROKE, and I actually chose to go with the SPE one over anyone else's for those exact reasons. I mean, this is like purpose built. Everything is has its place and is designed purposely for max potential out of this turbo. I mean that's legitimately cut and dry. It all makes 100% sense, and it is a simple decision in my part. So this is actually what is going to be in my truck here. I am just waiting on the intercooler piping to be done. Dan has a bunch of orders on intercooler piping, and they are built to order. So I am kind of like last in line just because he has to get them out. All right, real quick also, guys, if anyone watching this with an 11 to 14 POWERSTROKE, they make the full, or Dan at SPE makes the full upgrade kit to get rid of your dual boost 11 to 14 style Charger that is failure prone. And I'm sure that if you have an 11 to 14 POWERSTROKE, you've heard about the turbo issues that they would have. So real quick, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say you can go with stock. You know, you can do a stock, just
yeah, you can do the stock upgrade
15
kit
plus style turbo, or you can do also for that kit you can upgrade it to that.
Yeah, you can upgrade to the built one with the 62 with the special wheel, port and polish, or you can just keep the stock regular 15 plus style turbo. So why is this one so bad? Like, what makes this dual inlet, dual charge thing here so bad on 11 to 14?
This is, first off, this was a ball bearing turbo. The 11 or 15 plus style is a journal bearing turbo, and basically the differences from this from your standard style turbocharger is single turbine, dual boost, meaning dual compressor wheel has an inlet on each side of the compressor.
Okay.
So this is an inlet for the air filter, this is an inlet for the air filter. They both merge and compress into one, come out of here.
So it has great throttle response off the bottom, like right off the get-go.
Yeah.
Tap the gas, you have instant boost.
Their whole theory on the turbo was they wanted it to respond like gas. A gas engine, be instant, and that's what they designed it around. Stock trucks, it's not too bad. As soon as you start dumping more fuel to them and start letting the truck breathe, they'll overspeed, meaning this starts turning way faster than what the bearings are rated for. And when this starts turning too fast, it'll actually move axially, and it'll stretch the cages on the bearings, and when it stretches it gives it a bunch of play, and then it just goes haywire from there.
So you have the wheels will be hitting everywhere in there, and just kind of catastrophic turbo failure.
Straight factory, you know, straight factory condition of the truck, they're not terrible, but anytime you want to go beyond
any type of modification, you're kind of going to be in a pickle. So there you have it. If you have the 11 to 14 POWERSTROKE and you are interested in ditching that turbo, you can get the 15 plus kit. It's all made in-house here at SPE. You get the up pipes, you get the turbo, you get all of the everything necessary for the kit. And whenever they do the turbo kits, I really like this. They start with a brand new turbo from Garrett. So it's not a core rebuild or anything like that. It's complete factory, brand new. Whether you get the 15 plus upgrade or you get the 15 upgrade for an like 11 to 14 kit. So if you're out there though and you have like a 2015 and up and you just want to upgrade the turbo, you don't need any additional parts except the turbo, and they start with a brand new one, which is awesome. All right, guys, so that is it. Cut and dry. Why I chose to go with the stock built VGT turbo on the 6.7 POWERSTROKE. Waiting on the intercooler piping to get it all put on. I'm not going to put that on with the stock piping up in there with the stock intake and the whole deal. Definitely going to get all that off there and get the intercooler piping. But legitimately, this is completely 100% engineered to have maximum power potential, everything out of the stock Charger. You know, there's completely 100% no sense to go bigger. You'll actually see negative effects to go bigger than that there. because of the turbine and the housing in the vanes for the VGT. So a lot of consideration actually went into me choosing what I was going to go with. And there you have it. So the intercooler piping will in fact look like this here. I'll show you it really quick. Super clean. It gets rid of that whole big mess under the hood. It looks like this here. Super clean, all SPE, all built in-house, powder coating, everything. So it's going to look like that. It gets rid of that whole big contraption up in the front. Nice inlet tube. All the cold side, hot side, and intake will be in the kit. Huge thanks to Dan here at SPE. Really went into depth on why that charger works how it does and how it's the maximum potential. And definitely go follow SPE, check out their Instagram, check out their website. Link will be in the description below. And if you want to upgrade your charger, definitely check them out. But yes, this has been a long journey on deciding what kind of turbo I want to put on the truck. And thanks to you guys and thanks to Dan to come up with this answer on which turbo I was going to do. And Dan just informed me whenever we do the turbo in the piping, we're going to do a complete bolt-on, no tune change on the truck, on the dyno, to see exactly what kind of power you're going to increase. You know, no BS, actual numbers, wheel horsepower gain from doing the charger and the intercooler piping. So definitely, guys, stay tuned for that. I will update you know when we're getting closer to that. It's still a little bit out. He's very busy, so definitely stay tuned. But that's it. Now you guys know what kind of turbo I'm putting on the truck. You guys played a huge part in that. So did Dan, on me choosing exactly what I was going to do. But stay tuned. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to the house. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.